There's tons of great options out there on the market for ARs. Tons of high-end ones, tons of ones that are more budget-friendly, and then there's some that I would say are closer to middle of the road. Middle of the road in pricing, this LWRC DI model is about, let's say, $1,500. The street price, MSRP, is about $17, but what I will tell you is that what you get for the money on this rifle is very hard to compete with. Not only are you getting, let's say, a high-end AR, and LWRCI is well known for making very, very good rifles, and everything on here with the feature set that you get is awesome, frankly. And with this rifle, what I've noticed in particular is the fit and finish on it is absolutely fantastic. In fact, there is absolutely no slop or play within the receiver set on this rifle, which is a 70-75 forged receiver set. And then you have a mono forged upper here, and what that means is what they've done is they've actually made it so it interfaces with the rail system. So you are stuck with the rail system that comes on the LWRCI rifles. This model is the M-LOK system. The rail on here, for me, is a little bit short on this one. However, you can go on their site and order different rail sections, or say lengths, to actually go on here and interface with their mono forged upper. It's seamless, it's very slick looking. These rifles, again, the fit and finish on them is frankly second to none. They are very, very well made rifles. However, for me, when I pull the rifle up, like I said, the handguard on this model in particular is a little bit short. This is the actual length handguard they generally come with. It's about 13 inches. And again, like I said, for me, about 6 feet tall almost, it's a little bit on the short side. However, quality is excellent. You do get M-LOK slots all the way around, not just 3, 6, and 9. You also have QD sockets at the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock position, closer to where the receiver set actually is. And then on the top, it's scalloped out and cut out to actually reduce weight. And what I've noticed is when handling this rifle and actually, let's say, shooting it, it is not barrel heavy whatsoever. And I think a lot of that is due large in part to the 16.1 inch cold hammer forged spiral fluted barrel that LWRCI does. They're the only company out there that's making factory rifles that has a barrel design that's like this. And with the barrel design, this is a mid-length gas system. It does have a pinned gas block on here. It is not an adjustable one. However, it is pinned, it is mid-length, and this rifle is soft shooting. Their barrel is NiCor treated, which is like a titanium, let's say, nitride type coating on there. It's very slick. Fit and finish on that, again, absolutely fantastic. You'll see out here on the end, I do have a Surefire muzzle device. From the factory, these rifles do not come with this. You get an A2 standard birdcage on that. And I think for a rifle around this price range, I would like to see something a little bit better than an A2 birdcage. However, if you look at like Geisley, if you look at Barrett, they usually just come with an A2 birdcage, or they're gonna come with a 3-prong flash hider. So generally you're not gonna get something that's, let's say, real good at reducing recoil or anything like that. However, generally with 5.56, proper stance and shooting technique, recoil is not bad. Getting back here to what really sets this rifle apart from the majority of the other ones on the market is the fully ambidextrous lower that is on here. They were one of the first companies to come out with a fully ambi lower. And in addition to that, their lower is a little bit different than something like you're gonna see from, let's say, ADM, or even from the new companies that are coming out with the full lowers that are ambi. Now with this one, the bolt catch that is on your firing side if you're right-handed is identical to what you would see on the left side of the gun. And for your bolt release, it's identical. It is no different. Some of the other ones have like a little lever, or they'll have a button. This one, what I like about it is that it's the familiarity aspect of it. Locking the bolt to the rear is extremely easy to do. It's not hard to do, and especially with this rifle, as you get a fully ambi charging handle that is extended on both sides, and it's very easy to rack. No issues racking this. It's easy to get to, easy to rack, good length on that. And even with the length on this, it's just right. And what you'll see on here on top of this rifle is I actually have an EOTech VUDU. This is the 1 to 10 model with a Badger Ordnance Condition 1 mount. And with these optics, if you're not familiar, they actually have a little knob here on the side, which that's to adjust your magnification. And with the levers here on this LWRCI, is that they're long enough that it doesn't get in the way of that magnification knob to adjust that. So with this rifle, it is really well made. Fit and finish, again, I can't probably stress enough how good it is and how good this rifle feels. You have an ambidextrous safety on here. The safety is shortened here on your trigger finger side. So with a high grip on here, It does start to kind of hit my knuckle a little bit. I won't say it's as bad as most of the manufacturers out there that just don't either change the safety or they put an ambi one on there and it's the same length on both sides. This one is definitely shorter and it's honed. There's no sharp edges on it or anything like that. If I was probably, let's say, change something on the rifle, I would probably change that out to something from Radian. And then on your left side here, you do have an ambidextrous magazine release as well. So both sides of the rifle, you have magazine release. Both sides of the rifle, you have a bolt release, an ambidextrous safety selector switch, which is a 90-degree, and then your trigger. The trigger on here is about a 4.5 to 5 pound trigger. It's not heavy. It breaks crisp and clean. There's no creep whatsoever, and has a fairly short reset. They claim it to be like a mil spec. I'd say if you're familiar with BCM's rifles, the trigger on this is nearly identical to what comes on that PNT trigger from BCM. I wish, in particular with this rifle, the trigger on it was a little bit better. I wish they had something like what Geisley offers, or even, let's say, CMC triggers, your Hyperfires, AR Gold, something in there that was a little bit better, because in this price range, I don't think I should feel like I want to change the trigger. I think the trigger is good. I think it's definitely better than mil spec. However, for myself, I would likely change this trigger if I kept it for a very long time. And then here you have a Magpul SL grip on here, and then in addition to that, on the rear, you do have LWRCI's stock that they manufacture. A little bit of play in it. It's not bad. It's not rattling around real bad or anything like that. Pretty standard. If you're familiar with the B5 stocks, it's very, very similar to that. You do have QD sockets on both sides of that to attach your sling. There is no QD socket on the rear of the receiver, which for myself personally, I don't like those, so I don't see that as a downfall. Some people, they do really like that. Outside of that, this rifle, manufacturing based, is absolutely fantastic. It's second to none in the fit and finish. The quality of the rifle is excellent. It is something that I think, let's say, even the most hardened AR user who's used to high-end ARs would be very, very pleased with this. I think it's hands down probably one of the nicest DI guns on the market. And finally, there's one final aspect of this that is different from any other manufacturer on the market, and that is going to be the bolt carrier group. The LWRCI bolt carrier group that comes on this DI gun is a nickel boron type coated, or let's say titanium nitride. I'm not sure exactly on that. However, it is very, very smooth. No rough edges on here. I, again, have a Geisley duty rifle that I use. Bolt carrier group fit and finish on here seems nearly identical to that. However, what's different with these is they are a keyless carrier design, meaning the actual, let's say, gas key is machined itself into the bolt carrier group. It's not a separate piece. It's staked on there. And if you think about it realistically, that would be a more robust option versus having something staked on there. However, what you have to take into consideration with that is on some rifles, it does happen. The gas key itself, or that portion on there, has actually broken. So on this one, I would assume it's not going to break just because of how well these rifles are manufactured, but it's a very different design, which I really appreciate. All your standard stuff here in the bolt, HPT, MPI, all that good stuff that you would expect on a high-end rifle is done on this. Again, the fit and finish on the bolt carrier group, the fit and finish on the rifle, the barrel, everything about this rifle speaks to the quality that LWRCI puts out. In addition to that, they're putting out, again, I stress it, arguably one of the nicest DI guns on the market that is fully ambidextrous. So let's get out on the range and shoot this thing and see how it runs. Obviously, this rifle has that ambi bolt catch or bolt release. It's super nice from your grip or firing hand with your index finger. It's as simple as that. Guys, the LWRCI DI gun is easily one of the finest direct impingement guns in an AR platform I have ever shot. Recoil impulse is smooth, barrel shooting is flat, the gun, how it recoil, impulse, all that stuff is good. The trigger, although a little bit on the heavier side, it is far better than any mil-spec trigger I've shot. The stock, made by LWRC, is a little bit on the shorter side, but it's really nice when you're wearing body armor or a plate carrier. Function-wise, the rifle has been flawless. About 200 rounds through this thing today. I've shot it a lot in the past. Always been reliable. It's very accurate, easy to shoot. The controls and feature set on this rifle really are an awesome value when you consider everything you get in this premium AR. So if you like what you saw today, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, let us know what you thought of the video, and follow along next time.